Fragger too. Again, multiple combinations you can do right now with the agents that you have currently for version 1.
But enough of us just theory crafting about it. It's Leaf hopping on in, but the kills, oh my goodness. It's a bloodbath.
Yeah, that started quick, ladies and gentlemen. So Leaf with the surprise jump onto the ground with a 2 first kill and then 3 immediate kills towards the green side of B. So they knew each other's strats right there. That was very well done from both teams.
Yeah, and this is something that it's a little unfortunate, right, for Cloud9 Blue, because not only 400 Thieves too, but coming into the day, you had 2 teams to worry about, so you have so much on your mind, right? They're trying to read this play of a quick B long on pistol for version 1, and it completely gets countered. Now, they are able to even things out, so there it is. 1 out towards mid, and Zeta trying to find his way on in. The last 2 players just biding their time. That recon bolt is going to be taken down, and Vanity still playing out towards bed. There's the wall, though,
GG.
and I mean, yeah, there's just no cutting it down. You have to take the fight right to him, and player 1 does just that.
Okay, sorry, Casa Curse. Player 1 with the zipline Indiana Jones, just Tarzaning it across with that ghost to get those kills. That was huge. And it was a great wall to start things off. And the reason why I said GG was after that wall, somebody had to watch towards that area of 410. Watch for that zipline. I think it was off timing at that point too, because look at where the wall is and look where Mitch is at. So he's at the front, so he's off angled because he wants to make sure that nobody's pushing in from orb side. But I think, again, the wall's already there. You don't need to hold in front of the wall if there's already a wall behind you. Then again, though, version 1, nice clutch, a nice play from player 1 to allow for them to get this pistol.
And Relic sneaks away there. Unfortunately, takes a bit of damage on the way out, which is something that we'll have to pay attention to as well. No heal, no resurrection for version 1 as we get later into the game. If they're the ones taking some of that chip damage, it makes it a whole lot harder to find your way back into the fight. And a ghost in the hands of Penny tells me he wants an operator really soon, but Cloud9 are looking to punish that, only having a pistol coming into this round.
Yeah, and they have a lot of guys towards spawn side. I mean, as soon as they start pushing out, the rifles and the SMGs should take the upper hand.
Ooh, Cloud bursts and a dink onto Effie's. Boy's still sitting full HP, trying to creep his way onto the site. Penny, though, with that pistol in hand, is able to find one, and Zelsis mows them down. They're all gone on the retake. Version 1. It was an anti-eco, but Cloud9, they were looking to make plays.
And this is where you could see the tendencies of, like I said, as a very similar lineup that Cloud9, or sorry, that Envy used to run in the past, where you had Victor on that Phoenix as well. And what they do with Victor for Envy is that they also give him the spike a lot, so that not only does he get flash and entries, he's also going to be able to go for plants to build up his ultimate points. That means that you're going to leverage a lot of run it backs for details and for clearing sites. And because of those SMG kills and also a plant, he's already got the run it back into round 3, where he can leverage that to even overpower the A site, even if they're on a bonus.
And they even bought up a Phantom in this round. Oh, the Vandal in the hands of Mitch, the rifle round for Cloud9 Blue. Looking to go good for now. Zelsis gets spotted out on the run it back, taken down, and Poise will look to reposition. But Cloud9 up a player. B1 have to be wary of a flank. No, they're just going to take the fight right to him. Zealous is able to find another, but he gets traded back immediately, and it's just a bulldog for Effies, but it's all bark, no bite. Cloud9 on the board.
Very well done for C9 Blue. I think they expected that running back to happen towards the A side too. You saw the trigger discipline from Poise on the top of screens just to make sure if there's going to be somebody following behind Zelsis, he's going to target that second player first. But as soon as he's about to get out of line of sight where Zelsis could potentially get a kill onto his teammate, Penny's teammate towards the back of the site, I think that was Vanity as Omen, then he made sure that that run it back was gone. And also losing player 1 at the beginning of the round 2 was not a was unfortunate for version 1 to try to get something done off that running back into the A side. So very well passive well past defense position, sorry, for C9 Blue. That was tough to say.
That's a lot of the alliteration or onomatopoeia, whichever the one it is.
Exactly.
Yeah. it's one of the two. We're both kind of in the same boat on that one. Alliteration. Thank you, producers, for steering us in the right direction. Onomatopoeia is boom and bang, and we might see some of that onomatopoeia coming on through. Player 1 barely missing out on spotting a player in Relics over towards this B site, but passive for now. 5-point stance across the board for this attacking squad.
Yeah, and first point of contact was spotted there from Penny against Leaf. Even the Dart's going to push him back, but that's the only information that C9 Blue has gotten. So you see they're a little bit hesitant from this mini-map. They're moving left and right here towards mid-side, jiggle peeking, looking for the information. Was it a fake or not? And you could see that it was definitely a fake from our point of view. We are looking up slowly towards this mid-side, and that's a huge fake to throw that smoke all the way from B main into the A side, and Zels is with the curveball. This is now going to make a 4-on-2 towards this B site, so Relics has to come up huge.
Left.
Ooh, Recon Bolt. Get some information that he's there. A tap on the plant. They try and spray him through the Radianite box. And it is going to delay things for now. Penny swinging wide and able to find the kill. There it is. You said a 4-on-2. And, well, it cuts it down to 1. Mitch now trying to do what they can. They have to buy some more time, though, as that spike slowly starting to get planted. Leaf from downtown. Able to find another, spraying him down. The spike will go down. And we're in a 2v2. Now a 1v2. Unfortunately, Zelsis, the last one standing, gives up his position, and he doesn't have anything to stop the defuse. They're able to just stick it. It was back and forth. It was a bloodbath. The round will go the way of C9 Blue. The kills will go the way of C9 Blue, and we're knotted up at 2.
And that's exactly the issue of not having a Sage, right? To try to get a plant towards that B site. So you're trying to plant towards that double stack, the Radianite boxes, as you like to call it here, Tanner, and it just got sprayed down. So you actually forced the spike carrier to be off in different positions for attempts of plants 3 different times, which now gives enough time for C9 Blue to go for the full rotate. Where I think it kind of shined, where it worked out for Envy. We don't have a Sage and want to work towards B, is that they actually used the Phoenix to go for curveballs and go for more pressure into the B site by pushing towards orange, by pushing towards back site, using the curveballs. But as you're already using it on A side for a fake, that's a lot less utility to get more map control on B side. So they have to switch that a little bit if they want to work with those type of fakes.
Now, Version-1, again, playing it slow. Nice little 5-point stance, just trying to find whatever they can in the default. They do spot out Mitch, playing underneath tube. And what we were seeing Mitch do in the last matchup was he would actually opt into placing that wall in tube and then play underneath. But on the eco, he still got that barrier orb in hand. So could be kind of a thorn in the side of this Version-1 squad, who are really only on pistols. The lockdown gonna push everybody away. Poi still playing. Oh my goodness! Outside the scope, Penny with the blades will take down the operator, and the spike does get planted, but not out of the woodworks just yet. Run it back gonna be used. It's the only Spectre for this squad. Unfortunately, Zelsis gets sent right back, and he doesn't have the hot hands once more to try and stop the defuse. It was an eco round, and it's looking like they all fall in that direction. Plant, or the defuse, excuse me, to come on through, and some kills maybe to follow. They're getting a little scrappy at the end there. Just about everybody dies, but Cloud9 pick up another round, and here we go, Vance. We're back on rifles across the board.
At least that was a nice shot there for Vanity, right? With that Sheriff on that zip line across, and the idea was there. Penny getting knife kills into the A site allows for Zelsis to prop up and say, look, we might have a numbers advantage. We got the spike planted. Let's use our run it back to try to gain more space. But what stops it? When you don't have somebody that could prevent or to satchel charge into the site, well, the Frost Orbs makes things very difficult for a running back to run into the A site. So a perfect way to cancel that out there for Mitch and allow for the rest of the teams to go for that defuse on A.
Ooh, and they mix things up here. Relics get spotted out, but the Hunter's Fury to push him up towards B long, and Mitch was there to back up the Omen. Unfortunately, Mitch did die, which means no resurrection, no heal, but you do still have a player advantage, and Effie's ended up getting tagged out. Now Relics gets spotted, no shrouded step to get away from this position, so kind of just a fish in a barrel here. A shock dart's all it takes. They expend a bit more utility, though, so no nanostorms for the post plant.
2 nanoswarms, a shock dart, and a recon. So the push into the A site, or B site, sorry, continues to be very difficult. Now you have a big flank coming in from Leaf. Oh, he just got spotted. So now he's just going to try to have to aim labs his way out of this.
Satchel out.
Oh, and he almost does it. A bit of chip damage, unfortunately, with just the paint shells there, so doesn't find the headshots. Vanity swinging on through, finds one, finds another. The B site completely opened up. Now it's all up to Leaf on the flank, and surely they know where this player is coming from. He's going to take the fight 1v1 against player 1, and he's just too hot here on Icebox. 3-3 we go, and this one's shaping up to be a good one, Vance.
Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to see from version 1. Again, not having a Sage right now, you want to press more, you want to push more, and that allows for version 1 at this point to have 3 players just push through towards that B site and make sure the trade works out. Don't go for that ghost plant pretty much with no information where you could get spammed from anywhere pretty much towards orange. So by pushing forward towards that site, you're clearing on orange, you're clearing out back of site, you have trade opportunities and potentially numbers advantage that continues into your favor because you know it was maximum a 3-on-2 on that B site.
Nowhere to run.
The ults to be popped there, Relics. Takes a heap of damage. Not only trying to leave this site, but the Hunter Shuri right behind him, poised. Gonna be the first to contact over towards the Sage site, and he misses the knives. The kill eventually traded, but that not only was that pretty hard to watch there, but okay, he ends up picking up a rifle. I was gonna say only had the classic, so at the end of the day, he does walk away okay, and Zeta is there to pick up a couple of kills, and this round slowly starting to go the way of Cloud9 Blue, but I mean, if you just saw that first play, you would not be thinking that, and Penny battles back to try and swing it in their favor. It's left just to Effie's in a 1v4, low HP on a few members. Unfortunately, Relics not being one of them. He is armorless. This could go really either way. There's a swing. The pinch squeezed in the middle, smack and dab into the middle like the Chips Ahoy commercials back in the day. As Cloud9 Blue reclaim the lead.
And again, as I thought that somebody like version 1 or a team like version 1 saw a little bit how 100 Thieves are playing against C9 Blue at this point, right? So they know, that, again, the push that you would have, the double up from Leaf and from Poise onto the belt side, onto the A main, a pinch from that side, then Steel was playing all the way back towards spawn side. This time you had PL1 playing pretty close down towards that ramp where it made things very difficult for him to try to separate 2 individual 1 versus 1s. The idea was there. He knew that hit was going to come. Just his positioning was a little bit off. Playing that spawn side would have been perfect like Steel kind of did before, but at least that's a lesson learned for PL1 into the next round.
And that showstopper used out towards B. It clears out B long, but the plays over towards A. This eco push, it was a quick one. And that retake now to ensue. So an ultimate off the table. A resurrection still available, and Relics could look to change positions with the From the Shadows. We do see Leaf creeping up on the rear, but he's going to be taken down. So now there's no flank to worry about here. Player 1 picking up a huge kill. A nice little upgrade in the weaponry as well. And this one starting to swing back in V1's favor. They've got the man advantage. They've got the Bucky advantage. 2 Buckies better than none. And Zelsis sticks true to it. They pick up a couple of kills. They're going back and forth. And there it is. The rounds are back and forth. 4-4 we go.
I was casting version 1 yesterday with Bach, and I'm like, yeah, I don't see much going on with these Buckies right now as we kind of hyped at it that they were able to do versus FaZe, but we definitely saw that from Zelsis and from Vanity this time, playing up close like that on a post plan, going for the jiggle peek, the wide swing, the shrouded step to swing back out to get a kill. That was really nicely played there by Vanity with mechanically how you want to move around with the abilities that you have from Omen to get those frags. Very well done. And that, again, you said it was a lot of upgrades going into that round, and that's even a round on top of that, right? So it's a lower buy that they have, a half buy that they bought that came into fruition. They tied up 4-4, but we still have a good and healthy economy for C9 Blue into this round.
Still rifles. It's been quite some time, I feel like, since we've been toe-to-toe with the rifles. Vanity sniffs out the flank, use that shrouded step to get away, run it back. Fortunately, not going to find too much. Vanity actually going to get taken down there. So Poise making some value out of the flank. A lockdown used, a heal on top of Zeta to try and top off the Sova. Unfortunately, not going to be the case, but everybody pushed away from this B site for now. And the spike to be planted. No, it's deterred again. They keep trying to go right behind the Radiant box, and it's just not safe. Zelsis gonna go through and clear out Snowman. Nice and easy, but that spike has yet to go down, Vance.
Yeah, and that's the reason why, they got the ult, but they couldn't push into the site because Poise was on that early flank before, so they had to stay behind.
It's starting to come crumbling down. They've got 35 seconds to work with, so they could try and take their leaves. Player 1 on the flank. Big Zeta off the board. 30 seconds as you hear the announcer. Poise and Relics now need to go huge, but Player 1 continuing to get it done. A 1v2. as they look to plant in an awkward spot. Poise able to find another 3K for the Jet. They're both so low. Effie's on 46, Poise on 23. This spike not planted default, and we'll see how this one turns out. 2 cloudbursts to work with. Spotted out the spike, might give up his back. Effie's comes out on top. It would have taken a 4K from Poise, but Effie's had double the HP.
That's the experience coming out from a player that's been playing since a beta days of Effie's. But as I was looking back towards that ult, right, it was a great ult to push the defenders back from Cloud9 Blue all the way towards spawn, all the way towards 2. But like I said, because Poise got an early kill onto Vanity inside Garage, they had to wait a few seconds before to say, well, if we start moving towards B site here for version 1, Poise is just going to come out and shoot off our lockdown. So because they had to wait so far behind, they were late to get into the site. They couldn't push more than they wanted to. So you go back to that default, try to plant through the Rainer Knife boxes with no support. You just get the wall bang, and then that makes things a lot more difficult. But thankfully, Effie's and Player 1, the veterans into the scene right now for version 1, were able to save that round there for that attacker side. So they take the lead, 5-4, and we're looking for them to hold back towards this A site as C9 Blue, with this eco, are trying to press back towards this A site as well.
Oh, and they push up to grab that ult orb. Unfortunately, it wasn't for free. Poise ate the latter half of the paint shell, so a lot of damage, and then eventually just gets sat down. Zeta to follow this round, looking to be one of the first few times we've seen that 2-round lead between these squads. Vanity gonna get some information, not the high ground though, as he continues to the back of the site. He gets traded. It is pistols only in the hands of Cloud9 Blue, but this could be the spot where we see one of these teams start to pull away, and it's looking like version 1 will do just that. FB's with the last kill once more, and 6-4 the scoreline.
Yeah, you don't even care about the plan at that point. Just push the 3 players. You know where the last person is. It's going to be relics towards that screens. They push in and get that frag. You saw the stack attempt from C9 Blue just to try to press a little bit more forward to try to see those classics, the Sheriffs, could come into fruition. But it was Penny playing that high ground, playing from the belt side, aiming down the sight with the Vandal is good enough for those kills. And it just made things a little bit more difficult for C9 Blue there on that defense. But so far, as it is a map that was chosen here by version 1, and you have C9 Blue feeling a little bit more comfort on the defender side first. We've seen that they had a pretty good attacker side as well, though. So if it turns out to be another 6-6 or something like that, just like we saw versus 100 Thieves, then it could still be a very good half on the second side for C9 Blue.
Oh, and Poise, huge to use the mobility there of the Jet to sneak away. Penny, speaking of Jets, able to hop on the board with the Blade Storm. Version 1 trying to net the latter half of the half in that 7-5 at the very least, as Penny continues to go to work. He's completely unanswered, unchecked until now, and Mitch in a 1v2 has a resurrection available. That heal only going to get him up to 49 HP, and Zeus is very privy to where the Sage's playing, but he takes him down. Here comes the resurrection, and what does Player 1 have for this? He's got a couple of nanoswarms, and he's playing way off the site.
Yeah, and his alarm bot is nowhere near him. He's got a turret very soon. He might use that to his advantage as well.
Ooh, nice swarm to buy some time. It's taking a bit of damage. The wall goes up. The shots to follow, and Poise actually dies. He tries to inch up.
There was no time. There was no time no matter what. It wasn't even halfway, so you kind of wanted Mitch to stay up there. And because I thought the alarm bot was like, okay, well, there's no alarm bot. It's going to be very hard for him to get the nanoswarm kills, but that was very well done. And to still have Mitch, the last person to be alive right now for C9 Blue, was that agent that you didn't want to have alive to face up against, because if those nanoswarms weren't there, that wall would have been perfect for that defuse and potentially that clutch for C9 Blue. But just a sweet nanoswarm there from Player 1 as a killjoy main. You just love to see it, and he gets a double out of that one and saves it for version 1.
Yeah, and the kill from beyond, right? Just the wherewithal to make sure he pops that next nanoswarm as Penny pops a grape of Poise, and they're looking to crush the spirits here of Cloud9 before going into the second half. 8-4 on the horizon for version 1. Penny did take some damage. Leaf low as well, but version 1 still one player to the good.
And you're so close to the alt orb here for player one. Are they going to try to pick this up? No, he's actually looking towards this B side. So if they're actually trying to, or being able to force his rotation out towards A side, and with this alert from player one, he wins it against Mitch, you're definitely just backpedaling back towards this B side. But as you're continuing to get more kills on A side, you're rotating out. There is that trade. You know the B side's open. You're falling back for this now. So Zelsis, gonna cut rotation, also has an ult ready as soon as he gets his kill.
Yep, there it is, and player one on the flank, able to catch Relics rotating over a near flawless round to close things out and swap sides. 8-4. But you said it, Vance. Cloud9 had a really strong attacking half against 100 Thieves.
Exactly. So it's not over yet, right? You're going to look at how they've been playing for the attacker side for C9. They've had a very strong pistol, and that was working towards that B side. And even then, you're looking at Version-1 on pistol, they've worked towards that B side as well. So there's something that they know that we don't know, because back then it's like, oh, A side's so easy to take on pistol round. Let's just take the A side. So C9 Blue, are they going to try to go for that B side hit again? It seems like it. Look at that minimap.
Yep. Looks just like it. Now, with the composition from Version-1, we talked about maybe, you know, a bit more aggression over towards Tube or this mid area. And I think you just play it just like you did 100 Thieves, because they don't even use that Sage wall, 100 Thieves that is. So, you know, when you're playing against a team who doesn't have a Sage, still has that Killjoy, you just run it back like you did in the last series. So they're already warmed up, but so is player one, continuing to find kills, buying enough time for the rotation. That wall getting taken down immediately, although the plant will still follow. Your crossing back is not safe. Mitch is able to get away, but player one peeks it out. Penny on the board right next to him. It's down to the last two, and Zeta and Relics. They've got to play the post plant, but now it's only Relics with a dark cover in hand. Doesn't have a whole lot going for him. Nothing to write home about as Version-1 grabbed the pistol round and pushed themselves a 9. Yeah,
even Cloud9 Blue losing that one. Version-1 used the wall to their advantage too. They broke the wall in a perfect place, so they used that as pretty much like a side one-way from orange into yellow to win those fights. And C9 Blue, they're having a hard time with these pistols on this map, because I think versus 100 Thieves, they pretty much won with a flawless as well, didn't they? I think it was pretty close to that. Some little things to work out on here on their attacker side, at least when they're when there's no pressure going on from the defenders at the beginning of the round. When it comes down to the 5 versus 5, it's a little bit harder for them.
Vanity actually looking to go a bit aggressive with that Phantom, so trying to bring a bit more into the bonus. Ooh, Relics up close and personal. Able to find one onto Penny, who was trying to play aggressive. And this is kind of the same thing that we saw, right? It was Relics lurking on this Omen, trying to support the squad from downtown. The Smoke sometimes have a hard time reaching. Zelsis having a hard time finding that kill onto Mitch, and 2 for 1 we go across the map.
You love that because of how much it took for Zelsis to get that kill. You're able to run into the site. You put Vanity down at 1 HP. You might be able to take this round.
Yes, spike down. Effie trying to make us eat our words here. Relics able to find another 49 HP. Player one is here to back them up. The Vandal still online. Relics is not. Version-1 barely squeak out of this round.
That's player one once again saving the round here for Version-1. It looked like it was tough again for a spray from a Spectre. Let's not take anything away from Zelsis and from player one at that point, guys. And girls even, because when you're playing this game and you're trying to spray a Spectre, it's not that easy to control that spray. Because technically, there's no spray control into this game. There's a lot of RNG in terms of passing that 7th bullet. So you were just praying that those bullets would eventually hit. Literally a spray and pray for both of these players, and thankfully player one was able to get those 2 kills and allow Vanity at that 1 HP to pick up that last kill. So it's looking very good for Version-1 on the map that he picked here on Icebox, that where C9 Blue looked like they shine versus 100 Thieves, they don't have an answer to how Version-1's currently playing this so far.
Yeah, oh man, watching the replay of this round, it was so, I mean, it was 16 damage, right, away from going the other way for Cloud9, and to start to mount their attack back into it is maybe we have a technical. It looks like Relics hanging out inside the spawn yet to buy here, so we'll see if they can get that figured out. Because of the way that that round went, though, I mean, it's a couple of rifles, right? This bonus still hurts. This is still a round for Cloud9 to start getting the momentum going forward.
Yeah, that's why even if Relics is in spawn, maybe they're still trying to figure out as well in terms of utility, what to buy, because, you know, it's an important timeout to have. See, as Relics is moving, I think they're still discussing, right? They're taking the advantage of the full time out to figure out what they have to do with this, because it is 10-4. This is pretty much the only moment, of course, because you don't have that many timeouts actually in Valorant anyways, but it's a crucial timeout to have to try to come back into this game, because another round later you would have potentially been on an eco where that timeout would not come into fruition or not be that valuable for you for C9 Blue. So hopefully with here, the timeout that they had, the rifles that they have going into this round, they are trying to figure out how Version-1's playing this.
Well, and that's a great way to start things off. Unfortunately, they're running right into the Bucky, but Vanity with no value this time around. Mitch still having the heal available, should be able to top off Leaf. You see it down in the bottom right, 100 health now on the raise, and guess what? Return on investment, baby.
Huge kills coming in from Leaf with the entries, and there you go. Leaf gets a triple kill into that round. So as we were saying, we wanted to hear more about Leaf with the highlight reels, with the kills that you want to do as a raise, especially going head-to-head against Vanity with a Bucky, of all places at the entrance of B main. That was very well done for Leaf to be able to open things up here for C9 Blue. Not only that, but they win this round, I think only losing one player in the process, maybe even zero. As you can see here, it's a flawless actually. So getting that flawless builds that economy up, and you want to build that momentum now for C9 Blue.
Yeah, and it was an awkward position to be, right? It was the last two standing. They end up buying into that bonus round for Version-1, and you see coming into the next where you would expect them to have rifles, they don't. So that is, like you said, a huge round to pick up in flawless fashion just to keep things flourishing, where on the other side of things, that is just not the case. Leaf, unfortunately, cut a bit short there with the blast pack, maybe just trying to get into that safe position. Uncontested is going to look to take his leave. The spike yet to go down, the wall now to be planted, and this one was sniffed out before by Vanity. He's looking to get some chip damage with the shock darts. Penny up top, Blade Storm in hand, and that's a lot of damage onto Mitch. Forced to use the heal on himself. Player one gonna find the first, and this is an eco round that could go the way of V1. They pick up a couple of kills. There's guns down on the ground. The Bucky's still running wild here. The upgrade to the Vandal, the defuse to come on through. Relics on the flank, able to stop one, needs to stop another. He has to buy time. He has to stay alive. He finds another kill, but he's on 4 HP. No, Vanity's on 4 HP, and he finds the kill. A thrifty victory for Version-1.
Just like 2 steps a little bit out of that wall because it was broken towards that front side. I don't know if Relics noticed it. He kind of got like an accidental kill with a stray bullet that got that headshot. I think it was onto player one all the way towards Nest. So he was in a great position to try to clutch the 3 versus 1. The backstab was perfect, but again, because that wall was broken towards that front side and he was forced to reload, just unfortunate for him, and a great clutch coming in the end for even Version-1. You called it. It was actually an eco round right now. Actually, he should have seen that. He sprayed enough to kill that wall, and when he looks back, he's like, oh crap, there's a huge gap in the end after shooting that wall, right? So a little bit unfortunate for Relics, but you called it. It was a half buy going in for Version-1. They had the Blade Storm to come out as well. It didn't do much for Penny, but it was really that Bucky and the SMGs from Zelsis and from Vanity that really helped things out there for Version-1 to get this eco, this half buy versus C9 Blue. Where C9 Blue, well, it's going to be another timeout for them to try to figure things out. Now we're back into a live state, and they're also probably low on economy, as you could tell right now.
Yeah, and you really fear for Relics in that one just because he did the damage to Vanity. There was nobody to call out and say, hey, he's got 4 health. Just switch to your classic, right? It was all of that damage came through the wall at the end of that round there.
Yeah.
And then he ran out of ammo fighting player one. So that's just absolutely one you wish you could have back. Now, Cloud9 back's not completely against the wall, and that's a great way to start things up, right? You have 1 round to waste here before match point. It's not the end of the world, but they're going to start to mount their comeback. 11-6, quite possibly on the horizon. The spike to be planted, and a 4v5 retake coming through for Version-1.
Yeah, definitely a huge run right now for and huge map control after a post plan. And you see from Version-1, after losing that player so early, all 4 of them are saving. They have so many rounds to work with. Penny's low on HP. They've invested a lot of money into an operator as well. Oh, his Relics Okay, Relix was just looking for information at the same time too, or just teleporting back to his team as he was lurking around before. So this is actually a great round for C9 Blue. You want to try to win this round with the least casualties as possible, because like I said, after this bye, if they actually did lose a round, they weren't looking good on the economy. So now you want to try to flush out. You can't really hunt them down as well. Only maybe a couple of players, one or two, could try to hunt some players down on this pulse plant, but for the rest, you're just saving your guns into the next round, and the same thing for version 1. So that economy is not going to be built up as fast over version 1, because with these players alive, you're only getting 1,000 credits each.
The save definitely hurts, and there's a whole lot of math that obviously goes into it based off of the weapon that you're saving and where you're at when it comes to utility. Either way, it really does stink to not get the full outcome. With the outcome of that round, though, all 5 staying alive for Cloud9 Blue. That is best case scenario. And like you said, they didn't go on the hunt because you couldn't really afford to lose a rifle there. You'd be in a really bad spot if that was the case. So it was just Leaf, the one player all by their lonesome, trying to find something, maybe damage the economy a bit for version 1. But once more, we go right back into rifles. Penny gonna have that operator in hand still. It didn't get any value in the last round, but now that it's positioned up towards A, maybe it gets something here.
Yeah, and you're also very happy on that previous round for C9 Blue that you got to kill without having to use your showstopper yet. This could be a very important one to use this round, as you have a run it back and a lockdown on the defense. So as they try to take over this A site, if it's going to happen towards the A site, you don't have a Hunter's Fury to try to take down a lockdown from player 1. So is it going to be paint shells? You got to throw at the right place. You got to keep that in your pockets right now for Leaf 2. Well, he just threw them.
There it is. Yeah, paint shells to go down. Not gonna have anything to stop that lockdown now unless Zeta can pick up a couple of kills. And here come the ultimates. Leaf gonna go through. Showstopper not gonna find too much. With the run it back, Zelsis is able to net one onto Mitch. It's Resurrection off the board. So it's a 5v4 no matter what. Version 1 on the retake, though, working against the clock, and all 5 members stacked up towards this defender spawn area. Vanity gonna get spotted on the cross. Leaf gonna leave that fight for the rest of the squad. Here comes the lockdown. They've got to run off the side, or do they just take the fight right to them? There it is. A couple of kills from Poise. Able to buy some time. The lockdown actually gets taken down, and Poise still alive some way, somehow. Zeta has to find the kill through the blaze wall. Unfortunately, not able to do it. Version 1 with a clean retake will push themselves to map point.
So yes, the other agent that could take the lockdown down was definitely Zeta at that point. That's why he was playing towards that L. You saw him bounce those shock darts pretty much towards that screen side because Poise was already fighting. Leaf was already fighting. They were trying to just prevent version 1 from getting into the site. It worked well to start things off, but when Poise had to drop down after into 410, you saw that pulse plant defense for C9 Blue start to crumble down. It started off well to get into the round. That showstopper was in the dark through the dark cover, thinking that people are going to follow up behind or run it back from the spawn side. So unfortunately wasted for Leaf and C9, and now they're facing the first map, a first map loss in this series versus version 1.
Ooh. And quick kills from version 1. Gonna stunt anything C9 can get done, but they come right back. Ultimate's used for ultimate. Spray down for spray down as Vanity cuts it down to just Relics in a 1v2. He does have the spike. But the information, the lack thereof, makes it so scary right here for Relics.
Definitely. I mean, he's got the spike. He's got a lot of time to work with. He could really lurk around and try to separate these 2 remaining defending players, but you see how they're grouped up. They're okay of letting Relics plant wherever the hell he wants. If it's going to be towards B, faster rotate. If it's going to be towards A, we're going to have a full kit for Effies for the retake as well. But now, Relics is walking into a full-out trap.
Yeah, unbeknownst to Relics, he is walking right into 2 players. He spots him out there looking the wrong way, and he's got 30 seconds, and he's gonna beat feet.
30 seconds left.
Maybe over to the safe side. Like you said, these guys don't have to move. They're okay to just let him plant, so he is gonna take his leave. I thought maybe he tried to fake for B once more. 24 shield, 69 health is all the Omen has going for him. Vanity gonna stick to from the shadow, spots the plant, and through the wall, there it is. Only a defuse now, separating version 1 from a win. 13-6 over C9 on Icebox. Will cement themselves in Challengers Finals. So they'll have some time to hang on out. The losers will get to go to Challengers 2 and try again to make it into finals. But this being a big one here moving forward in the bracket. And it's looking like a B hit thus far.
Yeah, it's going to be Guiding Light to try to get information. It's not going to see anybody yet because Vanity was holding behind that B site instead. So now we're going to have another Guiding Light. Vanity is going to have to fall back, but we are going to go for this double push into B right after.
The smoke's coming out. Relics on the lurk once more.
Crazy.
Zelsis gonna pick up a couple of kills as they look to push on through, and you're not allowed. B site is not for you as Effie's is there to keep his Rays alive, and Vanity, the only one to fall. Relics slowly bringing up the rear. Both Zeta and Relics full HP. No armor bot from the sky as they look to take some fights. You see the sight lines and Zeta just popping grapes, the Trailblazer, to try and disorient, playing through the dark cover is Zelsis, who will finally fall in player 1. The lurking Cypher that you noted on the attacking side, doing it on the defense. Zeta from downtown. What a round to bring out for Cloud9.
What a round for Zeta. And with 3 kills there, and thankfully he doesn't get a spike plan for version 1 because he's going to be 2 kills away from Seekers. But that was a beautiful clutch there from Zeta to save that round for Cloud9 Blue, because you saw from the way C9 Blue wanted to get into the site, they went for a dash and even satchel chargers towards the right side, probably to try to catch the person playing towards default off guard. But there was already 2 players that dropped down from heaven into hell for version 1, and nobody was watching it. So it was just easy kills on the 2 first trying to get entries, and you needed some huge effort right now from the remaining players of Zeta and Relics, and they got it done.
One thing to take note of for the defense here, Vanity with a Bucky. Unfortunately, not going to find too much early in this round as they are stacked up towards mid, and not too sure if it is going to be a B hit just yet as Zeta looks to rotate back around. You talked about yesterday, right? Vanity and this version 1 squad using that Bucky. We just saw it on Icebox. And now you see Cloud9 thinking, it's kind of like the Stinger meta, right? We have to respect that they could have forced up Buckies in this round.
Yeah. And this is a strat that I said that I really like from Cloud9. I didn't mention it before, but we get to observe it now, right after this action happens.
Unfortunately, the pistol's just not enough here for version 1. Although we talked about how much they thrive in the eco rounds, this one just not being it just yet. This Vanity only able to get some damage with the Bucky in hand. Zelsis and Effie's just going to try and do some damage on the way out. But yeah, I remember I was watching your stream last night, Van. You really enjoyed this one. You brought out the pencil and started circling stuff.
Yeah, definitely. So basically what happens there for the execution of C9 Blue, which we don't see often on A side, is they leverage Zeta with the Guided Light. So the first Guided Light goes around the corner into the A site. It's going to spot some players that are playing potentially towards balcony or towards the window of heaven side. That forces a player to get away or turn around because of the first Guiding Light. Then that sets up Penny and Zelsis at A main. When the second Guiding Light comes out, they throw a Cloud Burst in the middle by the flower pot. Penny dashes into it. Zelsis goes for a satchel charge into it. Then they both swing out to go for a trade up towards heaven side or even clear towards the A site when a paranoia is being thrown into the A site from A main of Relics. So there's a lot of utility that's being used out of that to allow for a lot of map retakes or map site control for C9 Blue that I strongly recommend for chat to check it out when you have a chance to watch these VODs.
And it means good things thus far for Cloud9. It is going to be full rifles, except for Vanity, who forced up the Bucky. He's A-okay to have the Spectre here in this one. And that Sage Wall, it does give you that bit of information that they are looking to play out towards mid. Paint Shell is going to push Effie's away. Should be able to use that one to heal up. And only one slow orb remaining, so they might just look to bait this out. And there it is. Bombot goes down, or the Boombot, excuse me. Heal still available. Dash onto the side. Paranoia to follow, and there it is, hand in hand. As they drop down, Zelsis able to find one. Gets another out of the sky. Looking for more in the smoke. The showstopper onto the steps to cut him down, and it's a flawless round for version 1.
Oof, that was a great hold there for version 1. Even preventing from getting any information to get done there from Leaf with that Boombot, just from some nice frost orbs onto the top of the staircase. So any type of like real aggression you're trying to make is slowly falling short for the attacker side, which allows you to reposition for yourself towards the B site. So you slow things down, you regain position, and now C9 Blue doesn't have that information to come back into the site because the only thing they have for information is a Trailblazer, which wasn't used there at that point for Zeta and company to get into the site. So Version-1, perfect crossfire setup, they get that. But at least this round, the Seekers will be available for C9 Blue to take advantage of the site.
A couple of deaths later, and Zeta does have that one online. One guiding light already used to try and clear out mid, but not a whole lot of information. And because of that, the squad has assumed their position, right here inside of ropes. Another guiding light to try and clear out heaven. Although both players playing towards the site. Zelsis through the smoke, trying to buy some time with the blast packs, make sure nobody pushing through this defender-sided area, and Zeta hops on down, finds a kill on a Penny, and opens up the site. He finds some more, and now Effie's maybe to follow. The run and gun gonna go just a bit wide, but it's a 5v3. It's a flawless in response for Cloud9.
Keep enabling your duelists right now, as Zeta is the plan for Cloud9 Blues. So getting those Seekers out towards mid, 3 of them bolted towards the male side, towards B, so they're like, okay, less defense now towards the A side, let's go there. And they have that guiding light again from Zeta to go from the ropes into the vents, and it allows Leaf and Poise to pop up towards that heaven side and then just take control of the A site right after. The number advantage that they had right after coming out of ropes was huge, and it's just very, very well done. So how do you stop right now? How do you stop Cloud9 Blue with Version-1? Just try to figure out how you stop Zeta first, because that's going to not allow Leaf and Poise to get into these sites.
We had nice guiding lights there for the information, and just by that space, they jump right onto the site. And again, it's Leaf and Poise hand in hand. The tailwind, the blast packs. Vanity takes a bit of damage from the paint shells. He's going to shoot down the boombot and Leaf to follow. Paranoia to try and buy some space. He's looking to run Poise down. He is all by his lonesome, so needs to be careful. Now Zelsis doing his darndest to use those. Oh my goodness, Vanity still alive and still finding kills up from heaven. They rain down the fire. Version-1 still working against the clock. It is a 1v2 from the shadows is available, and the regrowth not going to get too much value, but the rifle will. Zeta continues to go to work. Penny still has the operator in hand. He went glass cannon with it, and it's starting to pay off. He needs to find one more, but he's running out of time. There's the quick scope, but Zeta with the running shot, a 3K on the round. And again, they just have no answer, Vans. That right there is the staple of Cloud9 right now.
Yeah, now if you actually did have that head-to-head between Zeta and Hiko, and you want to talk about clutch opportunities, that's where Zeta is currently shining. Not as a Sova, but as a Sky on this very map. It's probably one of the maps that he's most comfortable to play in, because again, when you're thinking about Korean players or just how this map is being played in Korea, they were the ones that coined that Vision Striker's flash and dash from, like, for example, the Breach and Jet. So as that continues to evolve, that meta continues to evolve on Split, he's just very comfortable to utilize another initiator to help right now a North American team and lineup of C9 Blue to just get full effect out of these duelists. And it continues like that. These guiding lights, these dashes into the cloud burst. At least there's a trade that happens out from Penny, but the advantage of that map control still comes into C9 Blue inside A.
And this is another eco round where we usually see Version-1 get something done, and it just seems incredibly hard to do here at this point. Player 1 gonna go wide on the shots. He's taken down. A nice barrier orb. Gonna slow this push where everybody is. Vanity's able to find one with the jump. Bucky, and the wall has since been broken, but you just don't have the facilities for these long-range battles as Relics gets cut down to 3 HP. Now you're just looking to make something hurt for Version-1. There's no way they win this round.
That's right. Even then, it's like this half buy that you have for Version-1. You're hoping that the Bucky does a bit. I mean, he's able to get a couple of kills. Now you're just looking for these exit. Big Frost Orb, though, that might prevent some players to make it out of that site alive. That spike's about to go off, and you're happy with it. Everybody died. Literally all 10 players died. But again, because you only had pistols and a Bucky for version 1 and a full buy for C9 Blue, this is going to be the round where it's critical for both of these teams to start to or continue to build the momentum for C9 Blue or version 1 to claw back into this game. Because look at the amount of money that's remaining for these two teams, right? If I think version 1 loses, that's 3 rounds in a row that they lose. They're still going to have to be on a half buy. If C9 Blue loses, it's 1,900 credits. It's still going to be like some sort of a mixed buy still. They're still going to be healthy on a buy, but at least the economy has finally been dented against version 1.
5 rounds for Cloud9 off a 13-6 loss on Icebox. Really shaking that one off and battling back tough against a very tough team here on Split. Although I did highlight the attacking side from version 1, and I mean, they've already got enough rounds to make that 12-0 comeback. Should it be 11-1 at the half? This next one important with rifles. 4 ultimates online for Cloud9, 3 for version 1. And it's a resurrection for Effie's that could turn the tide here in this round.
Definitely, and Relix is playing that lurk. So as we talk about no sentinels, again, that's C9. That's going to use Omen as that type of lurk play. And now that he's teleporting towards the back of the site, that's going to spot player 1. He didn't actually clear the back of the site. That's crazy.
He stuck the ultimate, and player 1 got the kill, and 2 more to follow. It's all up to Zeta, who's done it in the past, but cannot do it this time around. And player 1 in round 7 comes back to form.
And you've lost, what, 1 player out of that? Like I said, it was going to be a very important round for version 1 into this round 2. And that, look at that, it wasn't even a full 360 to look around. He did a 270, pretty much looking towards the only angle that player 1 was at. He didn't look there. Player 1's able to capitalize on kills because that's missed information of Relics that wasn't communicated into Cloud9 Blue. And on top of that, player 1 gets a wall bang into it too. And like I said, look at the economy right now. Yes, a couple of them we can still buy, but they're going for a Phantom. We have pistols and we have a Bucky for Relics. This is going to be the momentum, the round that was needed for version 1 to claw back into this half.
A nice pickup on defense. Now it is going to be that Blade Storm used on this eco buyer, this light buy for Cloud9. Paranoia going to slow things for now. 3 players over towards this B site, though. Makes this one a bit harder to hit. Showstopper in the hands. Leaf going to send that one out, clear that corner. This time around, he's able to find another kill. So 1 for the ult with poise, 1 for the rifle of Leaf as Penny starts to battle back. A 3v4. Oh, no, Relics with the Bucky this time around, just trying to run him down. Unfortunately, the run and gun is going to take down the Omen, but the spike is planted. The retake commence here, and Poise still has the blades in hand. Could find Penny. No, Penny going to be the first to find the shot. Celsius going to use the Showstopper just to secure the round, and Effies will find the imposter on the way out. Version 1 grab another round. It hurt a little bit, though. You lose 2 players there, so the economy, this is going to be an interesting one.
Still going to be very good, though, for version 1, right? You've won 2 rounds in a row at this point, so that's 3K no matter what. The economy is going to be fine. It's just more for C9 Blue. It's one of those very unlucky moments because the Relics was in a great spot to utilize that right-click Bucky to get 1 or 2 kills. He couldn't even get 1 out of the 3. And then that Showstopper that came out from Zelsis, great positioning from Leaf, played under the satchel charges, but couldn't connect with the Frenzy. So all those shots that were missed were just a detriment of C9 Blue that looked pretty good from the entry from Poise with the Blade Storm to be able to get the round in their favor. So, again, unlucky, unfortunate. You just turn the page. You have a rifle round finally coming back for C9 Blue. Just try to bring this back into your favor now on your attacker side.
And this time for version 1, they're not giving up that ropes position for free. Oh no, Zealous is actually playing this one. Gets a bit of damage, but swung on and taken down. Boys, making that one hurt. Completely unexpected of that player to be there too.
And male side for sure, and now that that allows his first kill, everybody's lurking back towards A main. But again, you're in that situation where you lose a player, you want to push to try to get information. So look how aggressive it is on towards A main, and this off angle of Effie's could be huge.
A dark cover. Data gonna be the first to push, able to find 1. Leaf trades it back, but Vanity has the high ground. and trades out the Raze. So no Raze utility. In a 3v3 we go. Penny's able to cut down one more. Vanity still going to work, and Penny to close it out. Version-1 starting to battle back, and we're nearly tied here.
They read him like a book. Not only that, but you should have paid attention to that minimap too. I think I'm pretty sure I saw a camera towards B main. So after that camera that was thrown from player 1 towards B main is like, well, I don't see anybody at garage right now. And because they got a player down towards mid side and it started to push to get information, everybody's starting to shift forward towards that A site. So as Effie's gets first contact and first blood towards A side, a perfect trade from Vanity, the time has been wasted enough that by the time C9 makes it towards the entrance of the A site, everybody is already rotated from Version-1. That dash across to continue to create a crossfire from Penny with the rest of Version-1 was just beautiful. And now we have a 5-4 scoreline, and back on an eco with C9 Blue, and a potential 5-5 for Version-1.
On the horizon, boys. The only rifle here inside a mailroom has gotten himself quite a bit of space up towards this B heaven site. Some noise on the ropes there. I don't know if that gave away too much as another guiding light goes through. And that went out towards screen, so quite possibly thinking that somebody might be playing in that position. From the shadows from Vanity to back up the squad. And I mean, Cloud9, they're headed right back in the opposite direction. There's the only rifle, and it gets so much value, opening things up, and only one here playing towards the back of the side. It is Effie's. Looking to push through the cloud burst. Poise able to find another, trying to take this round into his own hands. The spike narrowly escaped, and Mitch is able to use the barrier orb to set the wall up. It does reinforce, and the spike will be planted, but the shot from Relics.
He was waiting there the whole time, counting the bullets, how many left in the chamber. I know I'm going to land this one sheriff shot. He does get the one tap, and now it's a perfect pulse plant here for C9.
It's getting a bit harder, though. It's all up to Vanity. The swing with the frenzy, and Cloud9 battle back in thrifty fashion.
And I saw the idea of the full from the shadows of Vanity towards the A side, because they've walled up so deep towards that B side for Effie's that it's like, it has to be towards A. The wall hasn't been broken. Nothing's really happening on this B side, where somehow C9 Blue makes it up towards Heaven because they force a rotation from just this lurk play from Relics again into this A site. Force that rotation out. You're pushing the rest of C9 Blue towards the B Heaven side, and you're even pushing down towards that staircase. And that's one of those unorthodox moments where it's like, how the hell did Poise make it into our spawn? And that just shambles the whole rotation back. And that was just great positioning and great communication from both Poise and Relics to be able to get that round there for C9.
And a great way to start the next there. Leaf picks one up onto Vanity, who is usually a driving force for this Version-1 squad, taken off the board. And previous to this round, previous to that last round, you talked about the cam being inside B main, nobody being there, and the play must have been A. It's the exact same thing with the wall. And I was going to say, well, yeah, you have to be a madman to run all 5 up into Heaven B. But then Cloud9 do that, and it actually pays off. They actually make it work. Now they're looking to bait the body, but Poise just going to work. Vanity cannot get the weapon out. It's a 3K for the Jet, and it's looking like another round for Cloud9.
Yeah, and that's a heavy investment round so far for Version-1. Penny invested into an operator as well. So with a 5-on-2, no damage, barely any damage done yet. Ooh. No even damage needed. There's only Poise that got damage out of that one, and Leaf on armor a bit. And that was some nice shots going in there for the last 2 kills going on the attacker. And now you're kind of like on a mixed buy for the last round. Where Version-1 had the momentum opportunity to catch up, that was basically broken down from that eco 2 rounds ago.
A player that I wanted to highlight now coming to life here on Split was Relics, right? Who played the duelist role next to Tens when he was playing for this roster, and not necessarily in the shadow, but I thought was a really good compliment to what Tens was able to do, and a really strong duelist. You slap him on the Omen and nothing changes, just continues to frag crispy shots there, taking that up away. And it does look like they ended up picking that one up at the end. And there he goes again, right back to work. It's Relics for 2.
And you had to try to go aggressive that time for Version-1, sorry. The half buy that you got, you're working as a group, you're pushing in together, and now you have Penny with the knives, though. He might turn it back over for Version-1.
And Penny, there's a weapon down on the ground. Poise answers back with the Blade Storm of his own and a 2K of his own. Both Relics and Poise going to work in the last round of the half. And Zelsis now the last one standing in what was a 1v4, but the Resurrection makes it a 1v5. A Spectre in hand, full utility, full HP, and full information that one is playing in that direction. But Zeta goes back to the killing ways, closes that one out, and very reminiscent of map number 1. We've got an 8-4 scoreline.
And this is looking very good for C9 Blue right now, right? You wanted to take the defender side first for version 1 because it is a map that's picked against you. You want to be more comfortable on this defender side, but you've lost 8 rounds so far. Advantage right now, at least for version 1, again, is that they don't have to face against an anchored Sentinel, which means now for version 1, there's going to be some weaknesses around. They're going to have to move bodies around a lot. They're going to have to try to rotate a lot. They're going to have to leverage Zeta with these flashes to get information and also react on this information from Cloud9 Blue. And if they don't, this is where version 1 could punish.
And if there's anything that this guy brings to the table, it is the ability to delay. I think we saw that a lot in the matchup yesterday, just tossing out those guiding lights. It nets you so much. So an early barrier orb over towards A, trying to stop a push. It gets shot down almost immediately because it hasn't given away too much, right? There's still a whole, the round just started.
Yeah.
You could, if you're version 1, you could still go anywhere on this map, but they are looking to creep up towards A, and Leaf might be first to contact. Poise right there, backing him up. A couple of classic shots going down range. Leaf able to find the heads of 2. The spike now fallen, has since been picked up by player 1, but Cloud9 looking to stick it right to him. Zelsis across the map makes it out unscathed with a kill. Find a nice little upgrade onto the Ghost and the Boombot for information, and actually buys out the Paranoia. So it's a 3v4, but so much utility use.
Big kill that might come up here. That's a huge kill from Zelsis. They might push back through ropes and go back towards A. If they actually get the second one inside ropes, it's going to be a tough one. There you go.
Through the smoke, and you called it, Vansili. That was the caster blessing for version 1, and a round that started so poorly now looks to swing back their way. Mitch is still alive, which means a heal still available. That gets a whole lot of value on this pistol round. He's just shy of a kill, forced to use the heal on himself as he backs away. Relic's able to trade a kill back up into heaven. Both players now playing from this position, but with no heal. 5 HP is not a whole lot to go to war with. Nice little headshot, gonna find the dink, and player 1 just needs to buy some time because Vanity is going to work.
What a round there for version 1. It looked perfect for C9 Blue. Yes, that wall that was up early, that doesn't do much technically for Cloud9, at least was enough information to say there was at least like 2-3 sets of gunshots that we heard towards that wall. So they have to lurk at some point because the rest of them are still trying to get information towards mid. So as they have 2 players towards the A heaven side, Leaf had some great openers, and as they push back for information and they're trying to rotate back knowing that it's happening towards mid, that dark cover was everything there for Vanity on that mid side to allow for Zelsis to get that kill onto B heaven on that lurk, and then also to come back into the ropes to get that second one. That was just very unfortunate there for C9 Blue, but very well done for version 1.
And on the eco round, you want to try and find something. You don't want to be found in headshot right at the beginning, as Leaf was. He is healed up, but Sage, unfortunately, not able to top off the teammates any longer. Zeta doesn't have the regrowth in this one, but Leaf, there it is. Oh my goodness. It's like if you heal somebody, they're good for a kill. That's what it feels like for this Cloud9 roster.
Yeah, now on a post plan, all 5 of them are posted up, and you have a lot of choices right now. Go for it. Go for exits. You're going to go for it.
You're gonna go for it. Caught with utility out was Vanity, unfortunately falling there. And in basically a 1v1, Effys needs to play around the spike. 3 HP. Oh, there's the wall. He has to try and break it down. He's able to swap weapons. Zeta's just thinking it. The classics come out, and the Bulldog takes a bite.
Oh my god, what a thrifty round. And like you said, basically at 1 versus 1, what does Mitch do? I'm just going to sacrifice myself. A selfless play to allow Zeta to put this up at halfway and even a little bit more if you wanted to, but Zeta knew he had a lot of time in his hands. So just wait as soon as this wall breaks, goes with that Bulldog that he picks up and gets that kill. That was just very well done, and just the aggressive push from C9 Blue to crunch towards the A side. That's one of those moments where on an eco and you're stacking a site, you're gambling on a 50-50. You're gambling the B site, play retake A, or you're gambling the other way around, and they gambled perfectly for C9 Blue for putting all their chips on the A site.
And Vanity, I mean, just running up. You see how much the guiding lights can get done. And the accuracy, the precision on Zeta with that guiding light to find those blinds, just to slow things down. Another one, not going to find the information is there as that dark cover. Bought some space. Leaf trying to buy some more, but a classic. Able to take him down from Zelsis. Poison Relic, so right there to answer back. And Vanity, unfortunately, not finding an upgrade in that one kill on Leaf. Still has a Bucky in hand and 4 members to worry about.
Yeah, that's the first time I see that. Interesting play, actually, because often you see teams trying to take A heaven control and then wall off spawn and go towards screen. This time it's another one, but similarly, you're going to B heaven instead. But as you're going to wall up B heaven and you're trying to run towards the A site, you still have to worry about screens. You still have to worry about heaven.
Oh, and the paranoia goes wide. Has to worry about Poise back in the spawn. Narrowly missing on the near site there is Cloud9. Now double digits. And it feels pretty miraculous to be able to win that round after the pistol, making that not only that bonus round not be a bonus, and this being the first round we get to see rifles.
It's going to be a very important one, I think, for C9 Blue to continue with this momentum, right? To keep up with the morale, to say, look, we've gone destroyed on that first map. We're doing very good on the attack. We've won pistol, we won second round. Getting this gun round against Version-1 that would potentially put them on a half buy on a next, you want to continue with that confidence. And they're actually using that confidence to play very aggressively towards mid first, and it pays off. That's what I was talking about. Utilizing Zeta, getting those duelists down towards mid control, rotate bodies over, and it's looking good for C9 to start.
And a false sense of security off the back end of that guiding light. You know, maybe it didn't spot Zelsis, so he thought he was okay to push on up on the flank once more. There's the dash on the side into the smoke, but they don't check heaven, and Leaf gets so much value. It's all down to Vanity, who was lurking over towards mid a moment ago. And now in a 1v4 has brought up the rear. Guiding light to go on through. Going to take a fight right up to heaven. 125 health. Make it 91 now after finding the first kill. Looking for the second. But it's Zeta from downtown. 11-5. And it should be another eco buy from Version-1.
Yeah, and compare that type of execution that you have from C9 Blue in Version-1, because technically when you're looking at Penny and you're looking at Zelsis, same thing for Leaf and Poise, right? They could go for the Cloudburst and then just dash in and do that satchel charge in at the same time. But what's missing here from Version-1? They only have a paranoia. And when you have someone like Vanity that's playing a lurk, kind of like what Relics did on that mid side, you have no flashes to go into the site. So that allows somebody that plays on that balcony like Leaf to just get open season onto your opponents. And just a slight, you know, because of that agent composition, that's the weakness that you have trying to get into that type of execution that way.
This time, though, working hand in hand are the duelists for Version-1. They back everybody off the site, and the ultimates have since been popped. The blades online for both Penny and Poise. The wall to block off, or that barrier orb to make sure nobody comes through screens for free. And we find ourselves in a full 5v5 retake. Leaf looking to cut these numbers down off the back end of a guiding light, able to spot out 1v shot out of the sky. Effie's with a huge kill. Player one there to back him up, but Zeta and Relics now on the board. 3v3, they go through. It's a Bulldog for Vanity. He's able to find an upgrade. Mitch gonna use that resurrection. Effie's has one in his back pocket should he choose to use it. He's gonna be run down with the frenzy. And once more, it's all up to Vanity. In a 1v2 situation, the spike, the clock, it's all ticking down into the dark cover. They go, Zeta to follow, and it's a 3K for the Omen for Version-1.
They had no time no matter what, but the way that Vanity just never let go of that mouse one is just like, I'm spraying through the first guy. Second guy has to come at some point through this smoke. Please, God, come through this smoke. And finally he did win that fight. Even though, like, even if he lost that round, it would have been the round coming in for Version-1 no matter what, because there was no time. So very well done here for Version-1 on that post plant. There was some showstoppers going here and there. We were talking about how flashes don't really help, or they didn't have really any flashes for version 1 to get into the site, but at least a showstopper is definitely good enough to clear up that space. But now they don't have that showstopper anymore. So they have to mix up their strat book. They have to go back to maybe a slower default, and it seems to be towards this mid side to start things off.
And the guiding light, it gets the information that they're blinded. Leaf now gonna get the information that they were looking to play through ropes. He's gonna find his counterpart. Now Zeus is taken off the board. Yeah. And Penny to follow. They try and punish Leaf, but they get punished themselves. The resurrection is available, but both of those bodies in very compromised spots.
And that's what I meant, right? The Trailblazers saw a couple of guys, and it's like, okay, they might push into ropes. Leaf is just winning there on the ropes. You're still very accurate. It's not like a ladder in other games, and he's able to get those easy kills. But that kill coming out from PL1, huge, because that is now going to be the hat being thrown off, positions given away, the res to come out as well, and player 1 is already inside the site on a 1v1 versus Mitch.
And they knew that they only had to find that one fight. Player 1 is able to open things up, but Relic stopping things on the rotate. Now, speaking of rotates, Poise has since made his way on over. A nice ultimate to get away and an upgrade as well. That is interesting. Maybe trying to make him think that they're going over to the B site, and that's the call. Poise believes it's B, but...
No, I'm still confused. He could swing out and kill him now.
Planning for heaven. He's able to find that kill. Cuts down Vanity, and maybe he thinks that they're split up, and he ulted to A over from B. Poison's off the spike, but player 1 in all of the confusion, no longer sweating, will find that kill and keep version 1 alive.
I'm still trying to figure out why Vanity like ulted over there. Like, I might understand that if he's gonna ult towards A main, he could clear up back towards heaven and maybe try to crossfire towards screens while you have player 1 that's in there. But that's very dangerous, because now if you ult towards that spawn side and you're walking into the site, what happened if you already had Poise onto the A ramp? He kills you, you lose a spike. So, I mean, it turned out into their favor in the end. There was a couple of mistakes, but you still had the veterancy of player 1 that's able to win that round there for version 1. So, hey, let's keep it like that. C9 Blue are now going to be on an eco. Version 1 have a chance here to catch up into this game. It's a half buy pretty much for both teams, but it does have an advantage for the attackers.
Yeah, and so this Bulldog should be able to get quite a bit of value. Oh my goodness, the left to right wiggle with the frenzy. Able to find a kill for Mitch and an upgrade. Now gonna have that Vandal in hand with light armor, and that's a pretty good spot to be, although being a player up here as well. It's Cloud9, I mean, really back in the win column, it looks like.
Well, that guiding light is not, the Trailblazers not going to spot much yet, so they don't have information to work yet for C9 Blue. Version 1 takes advantage of that. If a guiding light comes out, maybe that's going to help a bit, but you see how more passive you're playing here for C9 Blue. You're playing contact for Zeta, you're going to fall back once you get spotted here, or just continue to peek out like that, and it's going to allow V1 to get into the site.
Yeah, a very interesting call as Relics was low on HP, getting shot down through the smokes. Now it's up to Mitch and Poise coming on over. A Bucky and Handle gonna find some chip damage. It's a Vandal for Mitch, and he's still pretty healthy. He's also that Sage, so he's got that heal orb available. One more kill. He also has the Resurrection. This could be the round that Cloud9 find themselves on match point, but they are running out of time to do it. I wonder if Mitch is gonna look to save here. I mean, it was an eco round, right? You might as well send it. You've got the economy to go for the next. Here comes the Reddit play. Ooh, hurting the economy a bit. Makes it hurt for 1. Looking to make it hurt for 2. Instead, it's Zelsis to find a kill on the way out. So the economy might be shaken up a little bit, but version 1, they've started to string together a few of these round wins. They're only 3 away from tying it up. And something that I always talk about, Vans, is 11 rounds. When your opponent is on 11 rounds, there's no better time to start to turn it on, because you get that 1 round of breathing room, right? You don't want to wait until 12 to mount your comeback. You can mess up one time and still be okay to play for the overtime. And that's exactly what version 1 are doing right here.
Definitely. And now, because of Mitch, he was able to get, I think, like 1 or 2 kills at that point and dying right after. He has a res into this round for C9 Blue. So as you talk about that wiggle room, it has to be at this moment right now, because if not, you've given a lot of rounds in a row for version 1. You're starting to see the momentum, the morale shift back towards version 1, where they could leverage that momentum to claw back into this game. And it doesn't turn out too well. The first blood comes in for Zelsis. It gets traded right away, though, so that's not too bad. And you're looking for that information on mid side.
Oh, and Effie's, it had the angle, had the shot, unfortunately was just moving, so wasn't able to take it. It's going to use that resurrection, get his teammate back on a line, so all the Raze utility available. Zeta goes off the board, and that's a pretty big kill to have. Zeta's been a pretty hard driving force for Cloud9 thus far.
PL1's on such a huge flank right now, but Poise is watching it. There you go, he gets the kill. So that cancels all that. You work back towards mid side, here's that battle.
And back and forth we go, although the resurrection puts things heavily in favor. Mitch looks to take another shot, and Poise still inside of ropes. There's the round of breathing room that version 1 had. Now their breath taken away. Map point on the horizon. This could take us to game 3. Version 1 needs to string 4 in a row.
Yeah, and that's why you saw from that position from version 1 where they're all towards that mid side, maybe even holding more towards sewers. Even then, you might even have a shrouded step from Vanity that could head back towards sewers, but PL1 needed to get those kills up towards that A heaven side to open up that A site. That was basically the play that version 1 was waiting for. With PL1 dying, it's like, okay, well, we got our numbers back towards mid. We know that there's at least an operator towards mid side. We should be able to trade it out. They weren't able to. Mitch has been on point with that operator on that previous round. Now you're going to have one away from Seekers, one away from a showstopper, and a map point for Cloud9 Blue. You're putting the chances in your favor.
Both Blade Storms on the line here, and it is a very labored buy for version 1 to try and stay alive here on Split. Once more, they look to grab some of that mid control. Intention over towards ropes, and we might see the Jets go toe-to-toe. No, Penny is going to take his leave and head over towards this B site. Barrier orb goes through, guiding light going to go wide. There's the paranoia, though, coming on down. Relic looking to play up close and personal towards the new box, able to find one, traded right back. The Blades will pick up another, and Zeta still alive to find some frags. One more guiding light available as the spike looks to get planted. It is a 3v3.
Seekers.
A resurrection now available. There go the Seekers. There go the blinds. There goes Poise and Cloud9 all behind it. It's up to Vanity, who can't get it done. And again, it's a diffuse separating Cloud9 from a round win, a map win. And to map 3 we go, man. As a viewer, I know sometimes it gets easy to just take a peek at what's going on the screen, but please pay attention to that mini map to see what these ciphers are getting done as we look to kick things off. The spike down in the spawn, it's looking like quite possibly a hit towards garage.
And you wanted to look at that minimap. Instant cameras right now from both ciphers. One to watch B, the other one on the top of the door. It's going to spot the Jet. It's going to tag him, but they still have Mirage control now for C9 Blue.
Yeah, and they just jump right into it. There we go. The spike to be picked up, and all of that pressure in hopes to buy out a rotation. And it does look like Effie's is going to buy into it. I thought maybe they keep him on that A site, but instead it's going to be 5 players stampeding over towards A long. The spike surely to be planted in a 5v4 retake in favor of Cloud9.
C9 Blue are playing a lot of retakes so far. Meanwhile, on that minimap again, an Owl Drone went towards sewers. So they know both long and sewers is clear. The retake's going to be happening from spawn and heaven, and they're in great spots to hold this spike.
Bit of chip damage with that shock dart from heaven. The cyber cage buy some time, and Zeta ready for that recon bolt. Should it be sent by Effie? It does go out, and it's gonna be taken down. Zelsis to find the first lead. Gonna trade it right back through the cloud burst. They will trade positions, and again it's the bodies on site. It's all up to Zelsis. 5 HP on Zeta. He's got to run him down. It's a 4K for the Reyna, and he's got the time for the defuse.
There's one thing that I forgot that just went like a eureka moment for me is version 1 with Zelsis on pistols. Especially on Arena is so good. If it's not a ghost, it's going to be a frenzy. This time it was a frenzy, and that was detrimental for C9 Blue. As much as I said that they were in a great position, that single cloud burst that was thrown from Penny right in the middle of the site between Graffiti and the default boxes, everybody played around that, and you're spraying with the frenzy through the smoke, and you're getting that advantage there for version 1. So that was very well done on a retake. It was very quick and allowed version 1 to get that pistol.
And it allowed Zelsis to buy up a Vandal in this round with full armor.
And one round away, or 1 kill away, or an orb from Empress. He's gonna be on fire probably this third map.
Oh, speaking of on fire, that's got to feel pretty good. Vanity walking away with 33 HP, but will happily take that trade onto 2 members. Everyone inside the dark cover gets dinked, but not enough to take him down, as it's looking like a flawless round in response. I don't know if Zelsis is going to be able to get an orb, but at the very least, you know, you're all right to take the round win with not having the Empress in the next.
Definitely. So at this point now on a 5 versus 2, you have invested a bit here on the attacker side. You're trying to get something done with the Marshal. Just try to pick up the orbs, I think, at this point. Even if it's not going to surmount to much here for Mitch, because he's still far away from his ult, it's still 1 closer.
And I wonder if, oh, okay, he does actually get, I would say, I wonder with that info, if they give it to Zelsis knowing, hey, he's on Marshall, just run him down there at the end. Either way, it is a flawless round, so a nice bonus coming on through from Version-1. And this is that upgraded bonus, right? This is that bonus that has a bit more oomph to it because they bought a Bulldog for Vanity, and Zelsis is on that Vandal.
Not only that, with a flawless, the bank continues to get built up here for Version-1, right? So if they lose against these rifles, you're looking at how much money they're going to have. It's still going to be a very full buy into the next. So Version-1's looking pretty good. With this SMGs, you would expect for them to play a little bit closer right now, and you see how they're playing close. They're playing 2 players down towards that sewers, playing that crossfire, but it's actually going to be the rifle of Zelsis that's going to be on point first with the SMG from behind. Thing is, on the attackers, Mitch put the camera up, that spawns along in sewers, so you can't really get that far out for information for Version-1. So it's stalemate to start.
A 5-point stance basically across the board with the drone to get some information up towards Garage. That spike still down on the ground will be retrieved by Zeta. They've got a bit of space, but not a whole lot, right? You have that cam inside of lobby, but you didn't push up and get it down lower. Should you recall it, you have to wait the 15 seconds. Oh, but Mitch is still able to be first to the shot to find the kill on Penny, and maybe not expecting another. Yes, he is. The spray down onto Zelsis, and the bonus is starting to fall apart for Version-1. The last 2 make it the last one. Bringing up the rear in player 1. It's just the Spectre in hand. He has 4 members to worry about.
Player 1 right now, the last man standing, pretty much at a position where it's going to have that insert your coins to continue into the next round, player 1. This is not going to happen pretty much. The bait was perfect, actually, from where they were positioned on sewers, but I think Zelsis wanted to go for even more of a surprise swing. Oh my god, okay. Good for 2. I think that's going to add a couple of seconds back on a reset for that continues, so you like it for Version-1. But overall, I just wanted to get back to Zelsis. I think he wanted to go for that surprise swing instead of playing the tight angle, which is still a good play in my eyes, right? After this, after his teammate fell down right here, because Mitch was already pre-firing on a different angle, so he thought he might be able to catch him off guard. But Mitch, quicker on the reaction at that point.
And that nice spray down from player 1, unfortunately, doesn't win the round, but it does chip away, right? That was the first rifle round. It was Cloud9 being on losses. Now you take a look at this next one. The economy's still not great, and you're going to have to fight for one of these orbs, which it is going to be that one C-Long, gladly given up by Version-1 to just try and take the 5-on-5 fights.
Well, they got this Blade Storm from this buy that they have from C9 Blue. Even after this round, they're trying to see if there's going to be anything aggressive coming out. But again, when you have a Cypher into your composition, playing an open C site, playing an open A site with the utilities of the Cypher is totally fine. So they don't need to look for early picks and information on C.
Ooh. And he gets spotted, unfortunately. Only able to trade damage back and forth, but basically even. Leaf walking out of that one a bit better on the trade. Now it's looking to be a play up towards B again against the rifles. Poise gonna go up top into the cloud burst. The knives come on through. He's got some supplementing damage, but he takes so much on the way out. Relic's able to find another kill, but the B side has since been taken. Zelsis, Effie's, Pennies, they have to go to work here. If they don't find something soon, they might opt into a save.
Yeah, and they reacted on that site on B side for Cloud9 without any information. It's just like, let's go for a full-out execute, see what happens. The recon dart and the entry was perfect for Poise.
My goodness, there it is. Perfect for Poise. The right click to find the head. It's a flawless round to tie things up here on Haven.
5 HP remaining for Relics. That's a lot of economy saved right there by staying alive too. So you're just going to buy the Paranoia back, you're going to buy the Shield back, and you don't need to invest none of the 2,900 into a Vandal. So again, the economy continues to get built up, this time in favor of C9 Blue, but that full execution into the site. It's not only how Poise just dashed up towards that B site to get that kill, it's also to secure and make sure that nobody's going to be playing inside B by that recon dart that was thrown by Zeta. So full fast execute seems to be working out. The gambles into B, a harder site to plant, but it turned out to work in favor of C9 Blue.
This round here, round 5, one of the ones that we kind of highlighted for version 1, where they do have this X factor of finding ways to win these eco buys. A couple of Buckies, a Frenzy, and a Sheriff splitting the team. A dash up once more. Poise inside the cloud burst. The Bucky from downtown can't find it just yet. 2 members immediately taken off the board. That was 1 Bucky, 1 Frenzy. Now you've got a handful of weapons to worry about on this A site, and the shotguns, well, it actually just gets a whole lot worse. A neural theft for the information. No real reason to save here, so we might just see some heroics. Player 1 up towards heaven. Penny looking to make a play coming out from this defender side at spawn of this A-Link area. Cloudburst gonna buy some time up top. Leaf low on HP, only 72. Has a showstopper should he need it. Instead, Zeta gonna back him up. Player 1 taken down, and Penny maybe going up top for the Sheriff. Oh my goodness, a nice little double care to try and turn things around, and there it is. Penny did go up for the Sheriff, finds 1 kill, looking to hurt the economy, and boy, oh boy, did they do just that.
Dude, that is a round for Zelsis. It's very rare that you see double kills with 1 Bucky shot, and that was very well done, because yes, I felt that you were questioning a bit why they were backing up, but I think Zelsis felt that that push was coming. Look how beautiful that was. Immediate kills going through. He's going to be able to pick up a rifle on top of that, build ult orbs on top of that for Zelsis. So he's going to be a nuisance to look out for version 1 here for C9 Blue.
And that right there was a left click from the Bucky, which didn't really get nerfed in 2.06. So those left clicks could still prove to be pretty strong here on that upcoming patch, should we see that one come into play. Unfortunately, the Boombot not going to get a whole lot of value bouncing back towards mid. Well, he's trying to make a play, and it's a quick one over towards B. Leaf right behind him with a showstopper. And again, this kind of acting as that mini lockdown. Mitch, on the other hand, was on the flank. Ends up getting caught out by 2 flanking, both of the duelists. And Vanity back in the spawn, just mowing them down. They try to go aggressive, but it's immediately stunted. Now FD's holding down A-Salt all by himself inside the cubby, going to fall. The A-Site not necessarily free, as Elsus has made his way over, but Zeta, they just keep getting it done. The spike to be planted, but Penny gonna sit down Relics, and now it's all up to Zeta. Does he have the clutch gene this time around? Has he space jammed Hiko coming into this series? No, he has not. It's a 3K for Penny. And it was a kill on the lurk to kick things off. Version 1 tie us up again.
That's the small issue of just trying to go into a B split link into A, because again, when I was watching C9 Blue in the beta days, when they were trying to go for that execute, they threw a Paranoia into A link, and then they split from sewers into the A link to get into A. The thing is, right now, when you're just going off the back of a showstopper, first off, you're not clearing your angles, you're still running, just focusing on spawn side, where Vanity gets free kills actually from spawn side. And after that trade happens, you still have to check your 50s on Graffiti. You have to check your 50s on sewers. You don't even know there's going to be another flanker on long A at the same time as well, so you've got to look out for that type of stuff for C9 Blue.
And Zelsis continuing to make it hurt playing this Reyna. Forced to use the dismiss to get away, so still sitting on 11 HP. Things aren't too great, but now since the changes on Reyna, you just need an assist, so just a bit of damage could top this Reyna off and put things heavily in favor of version 1. As Cloud9, they try to gain some control up through Garage, and I mean, they've gained quite a bit. Zeta, this could be huge here.
It's in a great spot right now. But player 1, he feels it. So he feels something's coming, even if when they walk up towards the C site. Camera's going to spot him. There he goes. So Poise has been spotted. They know there's going to be some sort of hit towards the C site. It's going to be the biggest battle towards Garage, and it's V1 that wins it.
A nice little crisscross there between Penny and player one, as Effie is going to stop the plant with the shock dart, and you'll love to see the utility kills. Relic's very low as well. He is eventually going to fall. Zelsis, now the last one standing, but he got the heal because of the assist. Boy's only on 36 HP. Zelsis, one tap from the Phantom would get it done. Unfortunately, Poise going to go wide on the shots. He has the blades available should he choose to use them. Cloudburst onto the side, and Poise gets it done.
On my way.
I just have a PogChamp face right now. I'm speechless on how Poise played that so well. That was such a huge gamble, and you see the idea. He throws 2 Cloudbursts on the ground because Zelsis already knew that he dashed over towards that double stack, right? So there's not going to be a dash for Poise or a Tailwind to try to escape again. So the 2 Cloudbursts that were thrown is like, well, he might cross back towards that default site. I know that the spike is down towards logs. I'm going to try to get a better angle. But Poise just walks through his own smokes and actually even big brains Zelsis out of that one. And it started off very well on counter plants from Version-1 because the shock darts were amazing from Effie's too. This round though, it is going to be a half buy for Version-1. It's worked out before. They have the Blade Storm to work with, so it's pretty much a full gun round. See what happens.
Ooh, and Zelsis picks up one. Penny with the knives, able to grab that kill onto Poise, and they're making it work. They're punishing what seemed to be a free play from Cloud9 up towards B, and they're making it hurt. Now it's a play out towards C. Player one trying to hold it down, unfortunately, only to get some damage onto Relics as the rest of the squad tries to bring up the rear. Zeta keeps going to work, and Penny on a 12 HP. Now, it's not 36, but he does still have the blades available. He also has 2 teammates to work with as the drone gets a tag onto one, gets a spot on the other. Penny gonna go up top, gets sat down, and Relics just continues to mow him down. Mitch to close it out, and Cloud9 Blue get it done.
These surprise kills that are coming out from Relic so far, like the way that he's just swinging out in the entrances and winning these fights has got to be frustrating on players like Version-1 that are posted on perfect crosshair placement and angles. I'm sure you're going to see this. When you're going to look at the person in the back of the spawn sign, no, we're not going to see it, but nonetheless, it's just great. I wouldn't say luck at this point because it still has to be reflexes on Relic's side and just be able to burst the right position to be able to get those kills, and it just continues to be frustrating on Version-1 when they have better positioning on these numbers.
Yeah, now, that was such an interesting round. They went with 3 rifles and the blades. They had 1 player on a frenzy, so they really put a lot into that half buy, and it doesn't go their way. So you're obviously wishing not only you could have that one back, but this next one, again, it gets so much harder to do anything. Penny forced to use that tailwind to get away nice and early. Unfortunately, not quick enough on the trigger to shoot down that recon bolt was Zelsis, and because of that information, they say, hey, let's not play these close angles. Let's just go somewhere else where we can get the most out of our rifles.
Player one hears them all, though. So player one hears all this towards Garage, towards the C cubby. You see the Hunter's Fury that's going to try to flush him out. I think it pinged him. No, it didn't ping him. He still gets the kill on it.
Yeah, he's still able to find one onto Relics. 44 HP. Needs to try and find a way to sneak out. No, he's able to find another. The pink shells did come through from Leaf. Try and clear it, and unfortunately towards the back of the site, Penny able to find a kill. Mowing things down. The spike had been planted. Oh my god, Mitch right back to work. 5 kills in the last 2 rounds.
That was so close. I mean, PL1, he did his job. You got to thank him for it. For him to take down 2 players with a frenzy when paint shells are coming, where pre-fired shots are coming as well, he made things a lot easier for Version-1 to push back towards the spawn site, surprise the spike hero towards the back of the site too. But again, it's just because they were on this half buy with no shields, pistols. The last remaining members, after all this hiatus gets calmed down, comes back into the favor of Cloud9 Blue. But look at the money remaining right now for C9. They lose this round here, a half buy might come forward. We're in that same situation as we talked about before on Split, where C9 Blue had a pretty good lead. But if you lose this one right now, you have a chance for Version-1 to catch up into the game in the first half.
This would be a big one. Pick up, like you said, 3 rounds in a row, starting with this one, would take us 6-6 at the half, which would be the closest that we've seen in this series. We've seen both 8-4 on both maps, and Leaf gonna be quicker on the trigger. The dash away, and Mitch is there to back him up. Mitch is having himself a game. Poise not done yet towards long, turns right back. finds another kill in that neural theft to find the information. Vanity able to trade it back, only taking a bit of damage. And a 2v3, now a 1v3. Player one needs to go huge inside of the dark cover. Sprayed through the smoke. Zeta sniffs him out and takes him down. And we don't get an even half here in this one.
We don't get an even half for sure. And C9 Blue, that was just trade opportunities and spacing that was perfect there for their attacker side. It was basically a setup for a bait and switch for version 1 by having somebody hiding at the double stack in the back. And even from the Sova dart that pinged out poise, it was like, okay, here's the call for us to try to swing out. The first one dies, they get the trade out, but still, C9 Blue had too many numbers on that A side take, and it was just a great push for them to get into the A side in the end. And it's going to be a fast execution towards C. It's going to be a dash and ult at this site too.
Yeah, they did use the ult. I believe they canceled as Poise does dash on, so you called it. Showstopper right behind to create some more space. Gonna take the fight right to Penny, who's able to escape. Only taking a bit of damage on the way out, so not the end of that world. As the spike now landed towards the back of the site, and they're doing a really good job, Vans, of making sure that version 1 gets nothing in these eco buys.
But that's a big ult. So that's +2 towards the back of the site. They only have Buckies right now. What can you do with this retake? Maybe just look for exits, or you just push in with following that paranoia.
Yeah, I mean, it is just red on the kill feed. It's all up to Vanity, who does get one, but it doesn't matter. Leaf with a 3K, a paint shells kill, and Cloud9 Blue to 8. This is looking very reminiscent of what we've seen as far as rounds go in the last couple of games, but Cloud9 have a chance to make it 9-3 before mounting their defense.
Yeah, and off that ult that came from Vanity, that spotted both players towards that back. I just like how C9 Blue just readjusted their position because they had a lot of time to work with. They still had the Omen covers, the dark covers that are out. They repositioned themselves, and when you see version 1 trickling out from the spawn side with the Buckies, that's how that sea of red basically came out. Literally, everybody just got dropped there on that defense retake, and now it's just going to be the last moment. Anything that you have in your pockets, just try to buy everything that you can and hopefully make this an 8-4 for version 1.
Yeah, it's not necessarily, I was going to say the sticks and stones because they do have rifles on 4 members, a Spectre on Penny, but player 1 didn't get to buy any of that utility, so only... Okay, never mind. No, he did. He got quite a bit down as Penny actually going to sit the blades down, and now one away from the Blade Storm. Could he find another kill here with the Spectre? Not able to do it. It's Leaf to trade it right back. Paint shells to go out. They're playing the close angle again. Zelsis and Effie's go shoes. They cut it down to the last 2. And Relics and Mitch going to tuck their tails and head to the opposite site. There is that one trap wire that was picked up that should get this information. But on the back end of it all, it should be an easy retake here for an 8-4 half for version 1.
Yeah, it started with a triple high-low to allow for this high-ho pretty much, because that first person at the bottom of the sewers, the second at mid, the third one at the top. We've seen that before from version 1 with this setup, and it actually catches Cloud9 off guard because they were trying to go for a recon dart thinking that sewers was clear, and he had to meet up with 2 other players on the A-side sewers. So very well done, allowing right now for C9 Blue to have an easier... Or, sorry, version 1 for having an easier retake, and they both take him down for there. So it's going to be an 8-4, as you mentioned before, going into this retake round for version 1. A much needed round, as let's see how C9 Blue plays that defense. I mean, I've watched their VODs yesterday. I was like, this utility play from Mitch on this B side, C side, as a Cypher. I think we're going to see Zeta as with an Odin from time to time as well on this garage. It's not going to be an easy one for version 1, but if Zelsis is able to if Zelsis is able to pop off like he does, it's going to be great to see.
Yeah, and so now coming into this one, for the attacking side for Cloud9, Mitch didn't do a whole lot of lurking, so I'm wondering what player 1 is going to be able to do. You've got 4 rounds to work with to try and get yourself back into this game and then start to mount your comeback or to grab a lead for version 1. And I think player 1, outside of this pistol round, maybe once we get to those rifles, is going to be that player to keep your eye on to see how much space he's able to buy, right? The lurks through A while the play is happening towards B or C and things of that nature, as you see quick and early aggression to grab so much space inside of this A short or A sewers area. And the spike, on the other hand, it's on the opposite side of the map with the duelists.
Yeah, and you see Mitch playing from the top of Heaven side too, right? So with this camera, if they're going to try to get into the A side, he could camera up and see something. But like you said, with this fake on the A side, they get an open C side, and it's going to be a 5 versus 5 retake. So as you talk about, as we have time to talk about it a little bit, you talk about player one, I see a lot of these Cypher players more going to be playing those cameras to make sure that these pushes don't happen towards mid side B camera and also towards sewers. So look out for that more here from player one.
And this is, again, kind of a coin flip, although there's 3 sites. But as to where you're going to play that Cypher, and unfortunately for Cloud9, it was over towards the A side, so they don't get to spot this one out too quickly. Leaf going to be the first to fall, but they trade the kills right back. No, Penny and Vanity say, no way, Jose. It's all up to Relics. A very healthy Omen, but not healthy for much longer. The best way to mount your comeback is the pistol right there for Version-1.
That was very good. And just to continue on this type of like Cypher play, and the reason why I say that for player one is because I don't see him lurking that much on this map for Haven. I could be wrong, but some players I could think about in terms of Cypher players that could do these lurks were like early days of beta where Def was using that a lot. Even Brax was doing that a lot for T1, and now with TSM, we'll see how he plays and how he evolves as a Sentinel player, as a Cypher player for that team. But really, a lot of these other Cypher players is place that camera as you see right now from player one. Make sure that there's not going to be any pushes towards that A side. If not, put a camera towards that front of B. Make sure there's not going to be any type of B side pushes to allow a slow map control now for a default on the attack. And that's what we're seeing from version 1 right now. Slow pacing towards grass side, slow pacing towards long C, while we have actually a stack of C9 Blue on an eco on the C side. So this could be huge.
They do spot out Zeta, but they don't catch anybody else. Now they might know the Cypher here as well. Shorty inside of the Cloudburst. Mitch can be up close and personal. Finds one, and Poise is there to back him up. Only 1 kill traded back thus far, as I say, at player one. Starts to mow him down. Spectre in hand. The run and gun is just a bit too strong. The Bucky from the back of the site, though. Leaf trying to grab everything he can, but it was not a whole lot. Now Relics with the frenzy has since rotated over, upgraded, and knocked down to 22 HP through the dark cover. Penny with the Vandal in hand will close it out, and version 1 will grab one more. But here we go. Can Cloud9 continue with this lead as they find themselves on rifles?
So you're happy with this now, right? It's going to be only 2 players that you lost basically against the anti-eco that you had versus the eco of your opponents. So your bonus could still be there for version 1. They don't have to try to invest that much. As you could see, Penny is trying to go for just a frenzy, potentially because they're going to smoke up towards long C. He could pick up the orb, then he's going to have Blade Storm, and it's going to be a very good bonus for the team after.
Yeah, and this play is something that I always battle with in my solo queue games, but it's like, hey guys, if you died in round 2, just make sure you can buy going into round 4. This is a bonus. We're kind of expecting that we're going to be on the lower half of this round. We might even lose it, but then we come back with rifles, and let's do that. Now, speaking of lose it, version 1 not looking to do that here. It is that upgraded bonus. Unfortunately, player 1 gonna fall. That was the other Vandal on the squad as Mitch just barely dodges out. Finally gonna get spotted, and there's those blades. They've come online. They found a kill. Dash onto the side. Both the duelists are now here. Zelsis able to take his leave with the dismiss, and it's all up to Relics out towards CT. It's a 1v1, and the spike now in the hands of Vanity. Haven is his oyster. The ult way to go backside B, 59 HP. The shots are not on target. It's V1 to grab this front.
That's crazy. Now, at first, let's talk about what? There's just so much to talk about in that round. Yeah. So, first off, they didn't smoke up towards top C to pick up the orb, which was really quite surprising for me for version 1. So they really gambled at that one. Not afraid of a peek coming out, but they use it off an owl drone, so I do get that part. But then a great entry, and you saw the way that things happened there for Relics. He tried to go for a fake teleport, so he teleported into the same spot. But because Vanity continued to push from the C side, he definitely hears where Relics is going to be coming out from. So that's why he targeted out towards Gong the whole time. And just unfortunate for Relics, he was outread by Vanity that allowed version 1 to be able to get that round. And that's going to put C9 Blue back on an eco into this round.
But the blades are online for Poise, so we'll see if the Blade Storm could be what turns the tides and what quite possibly might be that recipe of how to win these eco rounds. As a quick dash comes on through. Vanity's there to back him up. A 2 for 2 we go. FB's going to take down the imposter. Zelsa's to find another. And maybe I spoke a bit too soon. I was thinking maybe Cloud9 Blue had taken a page out of the Version-1 book and to find a way on these eco rounds. But Mitch, probably not long for this world. And maybe tries to sneak around and find a weapon. You definitely don't want to save that frenzy.
And what I wanted to mention too, just before, is we actually did see during that hiatus on that previous round that you did have alert coming in from player 1.
Looking to make plays. We're kind of just winding down the clock at this point. Mitch is hoping that they try and make a play towards B and he can catch somebody off guard. Not to be the case, as we can see everybody creeping up towards this 8th side off the back end of that owl drone. And I don't think we see the ults here from anybody used. As the spike goes down, it's going to bring Effie's 1 away from that Hunter's Fury. And you take a peek at player 1, he's 1 away from the neural theft. So quite possibly in that next round we see them fight or an early orb towards C, as we expected them to do for Penny. And Mitch, well, let's see what you can get done here, buddy. Frenzy in hand, the bow. Not going to be caught out in time. 20 HP. Effie's finds himself after finding that kill. 8 to 8 we go, and that's exactly what we were talking about coming to this half, right? You win 4 rounds, and now we got ourselves a game.
Yeah, we got ourselves a game, and we wanted to talk about the operator before. We didn't see it from Penny much from Version-1 on their defense, but here it comes. It's pulled out here for Poise. We don't have it for Penny. He's going to keep playing with the rifles too, which is totally fine on the attacker side. But Poise, heavy investment, has to come up huge with this, and it's going to be a double up. So you see how he's opting up towards this B site. Maybe Leaf is going to now push down mid and try to take grass control with Zeta, potentially going for a recon dart or something, or an owl drone. Actually, no, it's just going to be a full-out swing.
This is just about the same play that we saw on Pistol. The only problem for Version-1 is the Cypher setup is over towards the C site this time around. So the spike is over there, but it should get sniffed out.
So the owl drone's going to see that the site's sort of clear. It might still be another fake like we saw towards that eco, right? But now the teleport comes into A. We still have relics towards the back of the site, so he's going to hear that. So they know it was a fake towards the C site. It's happening towards the A site, and that big flank is about to come here from Leaf.
Ooh, and Relic's gonna go wide on the shots. Leaf is able to find a kill now, playing out towards A long. Should be able to get quite a bit of value. They have to worry about where the Raze is playing, but it doesn't matter. The rest of the squad just goes to work. Cloud9 Blue back in the win column, and they only lose 2 while doing it.
And that's where I'm saying the camera has to be important towards its mid side if you're not going to use anything else to try to get mid control, right? So, for example, if you're throwing out the recon dart towards grass from Effie's, maybe you're going to see if somebody's going to push out towards B. If that's not going to happen, use a camera. They didn't use any of that utility for Version-1, and it gave so much map control for C9 Blue. So as they were throwing everything that they could towards that C site, just easier there because you already had Leaf inside window to know the rotations was coming out, or the big footsteps were coming out as well towards that A site.
The economy good for both of these squads this deep into the game, around 18. I believe this is where we're finding our first operator in the hands of Poise. So we'll see what that jet can get done. Awfully deep into the game once more. Garage control seems to be the name of the game. They spray him down through the wall. The Effies is there to back up Penny, who takes quite a bit of damage on the push. Paranoia gonna go through, clear the right side of this C site, and that spike surely to follow. Now the plant goes down. Neural Theft is available, but that's really the only ult they have coming into this one. And Leap, on the other hand, looking to trade ult for ult. Picks up Effie's. Player 1 on the lurk, playing so slow. Coming to the side, uses that Neural Theft to now get everybody online. Where are they playing? It's Poise with 30 HP. It's Relics with 17 points. Still goes to work. Vanity now the last one standing. Finds the shots through the dark cover, but needs to be careful. It's Omen v Omen. As Relics looks to push on up. Nice shrouded step to stay away. The fake defuse comes on through. He gets dinked on the way out. The HP is so low for the both of them, but at some point, Relics has to stick the spike. He finds the shots on target, and he's got enough time for the defuse.
Well done there for Relics. As much as I've been checking chat to say his imposter, he's not an imposter. It's a roller coaster of emotions. Trying to figure out where Willix is going to go with this, but that was very well done there versus Vanity at that point, and he didn't get any pressure from that spike taken away. And these trades, the way that the entry right now for C9 have been really good on this retake, especially when they lost Mitch so early into the round, and that's a lot less utility on the C side, especially when they put the camera up on C and trying to get that information out. So Cloud9 Blue, much needed round, they got it back. Now it's going to be some sort of a buy coming in for version 1 because the knives will come out for Penny. And we'll see now that recon dart. We have a Leer to come out towards grass and just a control, actually, on version 1 to start on grass. Aldrome pushes him back, though.
It definitely makes you rethink. It is going to force out the Owl Drone in response. A trade in utility, even across the board. 2 rounds separating these squads. Mitch playing off the cam. Able to get the tag onto 1. Quite possibly spots 2. And the operator also here on the C side. Zeta actually looking to make a play off the back end. They had the tag and he actually finds one onto Zelsis. So they've got the information and a bit of damage chipped away on that Reyna. A couple of Devours and Leers in the back pocket could heal it up should he find a kill.
Yeah, if you're happy that you didn't get a kill but some damage, you're happy it's on Zelsis, because like I said, he's been a key player right now for version 1 with the way he's been playing this Reyna, and he's actually going to be the lurk player this time while the rest are going to work towards the A side, using and leveraging player 1 as potentially a second entry.
And they've just read this squad so good. It's another 3-player stack. Leaf in the corner. The kill's going to go back and forth, though. 2 for 2 on the site. Zelsis, unfortunately, unable to find heals because he's lurking over towards C. So it's
Still
not
player
player 1 on the lurk. It's the Reyna.
Correct. That's what I was saying. So while they're using that second one, because they could utilize the utility from... Actually, let's talk about that later. There's no time right now. They have to move quick.
They have to get that spike down, and Mitch is here to try and deny. He has to stick it right here, right now. Vanity needs to try and back up the Sova. The spike goes down, bringing up the rear now through this garage area. Neural Theft online. Vanity's going to be spotted out, taken down, and Mitch continues the killing waves. Oh, beautiful recon. Get the information, and the spray down to follow for Effie.
Oh my god, that was the most king recon dart coming out of Effie's. And with 5 seconds remaining, the most important kill that could have happened was right here. Mitch gets Zelsis, was so close. If he actually did kill Effie's instead, the round was over. But with that, Effie stayed alive as long as he could. He's just trying to play the mind games, and that recon dart and the spray transfer was huge for Effie's in version 1. Everybody else right now in chat that's been harping on Effie's right now, he definitely saved that round for version 1.
Yeah, the impact frags, and if you take a look on the back end, he's 10 and 13. He's got 12 assists. He's been so huge. That's what your Sova, that's what your initiator needs to do. Help your team get on these sites, get the information, and grab those assists. It's basically, I'm going to throw it out there and say your point guard for your team, but I don't know a whole lot of basketball, so I might be wrong on that one. But either way, Effie's is the assist man, and I think we've got ourselves, okay, I thought maybe we were in a timeout for a brief moment, as I'm sure everybody on this map needs a breather.
Yeah, I think that's a huge one, right? Because that is a momentum and morale killer. Because it was 5 seconds remaining. Like I said, getting that kill would have been round over and a victory for C9 Blue if it was actually Effie's that died first. So you take a small pause, you recuperate, you get the sheriff rounds in, a potential tie game right now for version 1 because they have all the momentum going on their side to tie up this game so far. And then you're just going to try to recuperate for C9 Blue. Getting it to 10-10 is not too bad. You still have a couple of rounds to work with.
In version 1, taking a page out of Cloud9's book, taking this B site for free. Sometimes it can be hard to take, and again, it's that gamble. Effie's right back to work. 3 kills, 4, 5 now in the last couple of rounds, looking for some more. The Hunter's Fury is already online, but he saved some for the rest of the squad as version 1 look to tie us up in flawless fashion, and there we go again. Vans knotted at 10.
Knotted at 10 with a flawless, dude. This is good for the economy now. We actually have a game in our hands. Like, we were talking about it while we were on break here, Tanner, that we're like, okay, well, it's nice that we have a 3-map series, but so far we haven't seen a lot of back and forth. We've seen some teams string up some rounds, another team string up a couple of rounds and making it very close, but it never went tit for tat. And now it finally does. 2 rounds, and the last few rounds of this map where it gets super important, getting very close to this overtime as well, and getting very close to securing that ticket into the regional finals. This is the third and final map, do or die for both of these teams.
And only a couple more rounds to go again. Hunter Shiri online. Vanity going to use that from the shadows for the information. They're looking to take the C site. Penny goes right up top inside of that cloud burst. There's the Hunter Shiri, and they're going to work on the site. 2 kills, make it 3, make it 4. Relics on the flank needs to go huge, but you can tell it's all version 1 all day here in round 21. FPs to close it out. The air horn on top of it all. And version 1, for what seems like forever, have finally found themselves in the lead.
This is what I'm talking about. The sticker or the spray that came out with the air horn shows how they're still celebrating from 2 rounds ago when Effie's clutched that 3 versus 1. This is probably going to be the round-winning series for Effie's clutch, because now they're at a point where they could bring this into series point. It's a broken buy right now for C9 Blue. Couple of judges, only one judge, one Bucky, couple of sheriffs, and 2 classics. Okay, there you go. There's the Buckies out. You're really trying to bring your money down right and gambling it. That's why we have this pause. It's like, okay, what can we buy as utility? What can we buy as weapon? Should we buy big shields, small shields? We just want to make sure that we have enough just in case this doesn't happen for us to win, that we could bring this into overtime with more money. They're 1 point away from getting an alt point for Leaf. Right now, if you're looking at this mini-map, nobody's really set up to try to fight for that A-side orb. Because again, if Leaf dies, he has the showstopper into the next round. So there's a lot of gambling going around. There's a lot of decisions that has to be made where the round continues to be crucial here for C9 Blue.
Yeah, that timeout basically one of those math breaks where you're seeing, okay, what's the best we can get here to make sure we can buy in the next should we lose this next one. It does eke out to be 2 sheriffs, 3 Buckies, a body shot onto Penny to start to chip away. We've yet to see either of these teams in the last couple of maps pick up these thrifty victories. If you're Cloud9 Blue, things aren't boding to be all that incredibly well. The spike going to be planted down towards that default position, and we're in a 5v5 retake.
That means they have a lot of utilities, right? They just let an open site. Look at what we have. The Paranoid's about to come out. It's getting bloody.
Ooh, they drop one of the sites. Utility starting to get some values, or the Eco is starting to get some values. Those Buckies coming online, but Penny's able to spray down 2. 3 HP, trying to stay alive, and Effie's is there to back him up. Zeta just trying to go through the smoke. The spray down to come on through. It's up to Zeta to get it done, and he can't do it. It's Effie's once more for a 3K, and it's version 1 to battle all the way back, who now have Cloud9 Blue on map point.
Okay, you have a showstopper now for Leaf. It's going to be a full rifle round for C9 Blue, so that pause was definitely needed to get their money right.
Yeah.
They killed 3 players from version 1. Let's look at their money right now. 18, 21, 75, 47, 50, 45. They're still very good right now for version 1 for the next 2 rounds. So you have to win this next round, not losing any players at all for C9 Blue, just to make sure that you could stay tit for tat with the amount of economy and weaponry you can bring into the last and final round if needed. And it starts off super well with Leaf.
That's the best way to do it. And you can see version 1 feeling themselves coming into this one. Okay, it showed operator for a second. I don't know if Vanity must have maybe dropped that one and has a rifle as well, or my eyes deceived me there for a second. Either way, version 1 had so much momentum, and Leaf just stunts it all.
And that's Zelsis to fall too. A huge one to start things off here to make it, to add some hope for C9 Blue fans. And also you saw the Al Jones kiss, so there's not much information. And that pressure is up. Look how C9 Blue, they're not moving anywhere. They're not trying to get map control. Play the numbers to your advantage. Such a passive A site. Double trap wires right now towards the A site entrance. Camera, they're going to play retake with this off the showstopper as well. Let's see what happens.
Here we go. Spike to be planted. Mitch still holding it down. Trapwire's going to be taken down, and Gonna wait for the team to bring up the rear. Like you said, Leaf has the showstopper, paint shells available as well, so a whole lot of chaos to be created, but there it is, it's off the board. Vanity with a huge kill, and Penny to follow up, both from heaven. Now taken down, they funnel in from the back of the site into the Cloudburst. They will go poised, trying to buy some space, buy some time. It's the blades in the hands, it's all up to one, but that's going to be it. Version 1, battle back 8-4.